You know me, Darryl Bumpass. Listen, there's a time in your life and throughout your journey that this question will come up to you. You will pose it to yourself, and others will ask you this question also. And the question is, what were you thinking? Sometimes, in the good times and in the bad times, we always ask that question. What were you thinking? Sometimes in some of the relationships we've been in, we may ask, what were you thinking? Right? What were you thinking? Sometimes the financial decisions that we make, we ask ourselves, what were you thinking? How did you think that was going to help you get ahead? You know you couldn't afford that type of car note. You knew you couldn't afford that type of mortgage. You knew you couldn't afford that type of rent. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? We may ask that question again about the relationships that we are in or relationships that we were in. Was this person adding to any of your happiness? You can think of it at any time where was he supportive in all of your dreams and goals and aspirations that you may have had, that you wanted, that you still have? Was she by your side in the times of need that you were trying to build your business? And if these answers are no to this question, then you have to ask yourself, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Darryl, what was you thinking, man? You seen all the red flags. You seen all the red flags telling you this is not for you. This relationship is not for you. But you stayed in it. You held in there. What were you thinking when they were telling you they did not love you? When they were showing you that they did not love you? When they were showing you that your happiness is not important to me? But you stayed. What were you thinking? Answer the question. Ask yourself the question. I know you asked these questions to yourself before, but were you actually honest about it? But don't beat yourself up so much, because you have to remember it was part of the process. Now, when you stay in that situation, what's the point of even asking yourself that question? This question is posed to you. You ask yourself this question, and other people ask you this question so that you may step out of the situation that you were in, the situation that was not helpful to you, but instead it was more harmful to you and to yours, whoever yours may be. When you said you wanted to pick up and move to another state, was he supportive? Was she supportive? Then why'd you stay so long? As they always say, if someone shows you who they are, believe them. What were you thinking? Believe me, I ain't no saint. I get it. There was times when I had to ask myself the same question. What were you thinking? You're going out there, you're financing a TV. Why are you financing a TV? What are you thinking? Save that money up, get the TV, pay for it. Maybe you're trying to build some credit or something like that. If you're doing it the right way and there's a goal that you're trying to reach, then so be it. But don't go out there and just finance a TV just to do it. What are you thinking? But don't get me wrong. There are good situations when you can think back and you can say, what were you thinking? Man, the move that you made when everybody else was laughing at you and you was making those moves. Now you can think back and say, wow, what was I thinking? Right? I'm gonna give you for instance, a perfect example. When I was working my 9 to 5, I would show up in a suit. And a lot of people was looking at me. Some of them were probably even laughing. Like, what is he thinking? Why is he coming here in a suit? The 9 to 5 did not require me to wear a suit. I can remember when someone asked me, why are you wearing a suit here? And I said to them, I'm not dressing for where I'm at. I'm dressing for where I'm headed. I'm dressing for where I'm going. I'm dressing for what's already been planned out for me. See, you're playing the game right now where you at. I was playing the game that was already in my future. They're not going to always understand that. You know, I'm going to tell you about a dream I had. And they were asking me this question. These people were there and they were asking me these questions. And they kept saying to me, what were you thinking? What was you thinking when you wanted to just quit your 9 to 5 and walk away after your father passed away? After you watched your father take his last breath and you just wanted to walk away from your 9 to 5. What were you thinking? What were you thinking when you were so stressed out and your face became paralyzed because you were stressed out from allowing so many other things into your life that was not helpful? I know you hear me, but are you listening? What were you thinking? This is what they was asking me. They just kept, from my left to my right, someone on my left was asking me. Someone on my right, someone in the center in front of me was asking me, what was you thinking? They kept saying, Darryl, what was you thinking? And I'm trying to explain it to them. What was you thinking about when you decided that you wanted to start writing a book? What was you thinking about when you wanted to become one of the greatest speakers in the world? What were you thinking about when you wanted to become a life coach, certified life coach? What were you thinking? They kept saying to me, Darryl, what were you thinking? What were you thinking? And I had to say to them, as everything began to come clear, so in the beginning I couldn't see their faces, but as it began to come clearer to me, I could see their faces. And I could see 3 chairs sitting in front of me. And in the 3 chairs, there were 4 people sitting there with this glow. And behind them, there was a group of people sitting right behind them. And they also had these glows. And as I could see through the light, I could see this beautiful woman with this long, silky hair. And I looked at her and I began to smile. And it was my grandmother Louise. And it was my grandfather James. And at the other end, I could see these coveralls. And it was my other grandfather, General Lee. And I could see him holding my other grandmother's hand, my grandmother Ada. And behind him, I could see someone that taught me how to be a great father, try to be a good husband, try to be a good son. I could see my father. I could see all of my uncles next to him and my aunts that had already passed away. And next to them, I could see some of my dear friends. I see Darryl Robinson. Wow. I see Pat Rhymes. These people that taught me how to be a great friend. I see Sharon. When he said, Darryl, what were you thinking? And I just looked up at them and I said, when I was going through my ups and downs, when I was going through my hardships, I knew I would come out of it. I said, when I was experiencing my prosperity, my gratefulness and my blessings, as I'm saying all this, my grandparents interrupted me again and they said, what were you thinking, Darryl? What were you thinking? And I just said to them, I was thinking of you. I was thinking of you. And all I want to say is I thank you and I appreciate you. So I ask this question to you. What are you thinking? What were you thinking and what are you thinking? This is a question that your kids will ask you years to come. Keep this question in mind. I thank you and I appreciate you. You know me, Darryl Bumpass. What are you thinking? What were you thinking? Peace.